Market celebrates stagflation and recession today on August 22nd, 2025. This is going to go down in history as the dumbest fucking day the Wall Street has ever seen in its lifetime. You literally have Powell in his speech today, telling you that shit is bad. And yet, what does the market do? Celebrates the admission of the Federal Reserve stagflation or recession? Holy shit. As a short seller, can you even be wishing for a better day like today to be short in financial markets? And the stupidest, dumbest fucking move in its history? Absolutely not. I mean, this is as good as it gets when you are a short seller. And damn right, we're buying a shitload of puts today expiration. Got a little smoked on those, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, those puts are going to make a shitload of money because this day of stupidity ain't going to last. Like literally, Federal Reserve just told you that they're highly concerned about the job market. Yeah, Leo, but that means they're going to cut rates. Hold on a fucking second. Let's break down the whole situation here. Federal Reserve just told you not only they're concerned with the current job market situation, but what makes them even consider a rate cut, which they're so reluctant to do, is the fact that they see the job market picture deteriorate at the speed of light. So all eyes on September job report, because I don't think Powell would be going all in today telling you that the rate of change, ROC, R-O-C, on the deterioration of the job market could be so fucking bad to the point where we all know, what do you do in stagflation? You don't cut rates, you raise them. But yet, he said today they're leaning towards cutting them. Opening the door for the cut, but not officially actually saying they're going to cut, but opening the door for the cut actually is admitting that situation in the job market is absolutely dire. Now, that's not just near term, but he's actually voicing today that the job market situation is not only could skyrocket to the fucking levels we haven't seen since 2008, but also it's going to stay that way until 2027. Yeah, that's a reason to buy the fucking market. He just told you the job market is in total shit. The real economy is falling the fuck apart. And don't even get me started on his comments on GDP and slow growth and all the shit that is a part of what? Stagflation. The markets never go higher in stagflation, okay? He also admitted, hey, we cannot fucking get this inflation in check. We've tried to hit the target for the last 4 years. Well, we can't hit it. As a matter of fact, we are like a drunken fucking sailor. We can't even get nowhere near that motherfucker. It's at 2%, and we're on track to probably hit 3.745% later in the year. So, he just said inflation is running out of fucking control. He just said job market is in the process of collapsing, which makes them consider cutting rates. Now, guess what? Normally, the market is associating rate cuts with what? Well, don't fight the Fed. You don't want to be fighting the Fed because when the Fed cuts interest rates, what happens? Markets go higher. Markets make a stupid initial reaction higher, possibly on a day, the stupidest fucking Wall Street day in the world today, August 22nd, 2025. You guys will be going back to this day, reference on the charts, looking at him like, goddamn, that was the fucking high of all motherfucking highs in the market? How did I not short that day? So the point is, Fed full admission to deteriorating economic conditions, slower growth, high inflation. What is that shit called? Stagflation. We've been talking to you about it for the last 2 years. There's not a historic precedent where the market does not drop under conditions of stagflation. Now, The normal remedy to fight stagflation is not rate reduction, okay? It is rate hikes. So the fact that, Powell is willing to take a chance on cutting rates, I think this could be the most dire message to the market that market could be just misinterpreting for one fucking stupidest day Wall Street has ever seen in its lifetime. So, guys, the probability of the mood switching come Monday, the probability of a sell-off, the reversal of all gains, which, by the way, I've been pulling up charts, and the volume on which this rise is happening is obnoxious. There is no volume. There is nothing happening, okay? So basically, the market is pushing towards, okay, we officially hit all-time highs on S&P on what? On acknowledgement by Federal Reserve that we are in the process of full-blown recession. We're in recession. Fuck yeah. We're going for all-time highs. That makes perfect fucking sense. So, it may seem that the market is temporarily completely misinterpreting what Powell just said today. But to us here at 30 Market Moves, the message is loud and clear. Get the fuck out of the market while you can. But not in a way that normal people would think. Okay, bet against the fucking market in the biggest possible way you've ever thought of in your lifetime. So, a lot of things are moving up today that technically should be collapsing, such as the Russell 2000 index, which is up green, bigger than any other index. Well, arguably, those type of stocks, the small caps, they are more sensitive to interest rates than anything else. And so on the surface, it seems like, okay, Fed opening the door for a rate cut in December may be a great thing for these small cap stocks. But the reality is Fed is doing it for the wrong reason, okay? You want the kind of the focus is simply on the rate cut. What I'm trying to break down here for you is there are moments in history when Federal Reserve cuts rate and the market collapses because the rate cut evolves out of the wrong reasons. Wrong reasons would be, economy's falling apart. We're not growing as fast as we should. The job market is going to hell. Okay? And Federal Reserve says, what the fuck, we got to hurry and cut rates. That's the wrong reason to cut rates. What would be a good reason to cut rates? We hit our inflation target. We're at 2%. We're safe to cut the interest rates now. Okay? So if you study the history, late 70s, early 80s, guys, there was one federal chairman, guy that, wasn't as patient, and he cut the shit a little too early in the late 70s, and that's why he's known, Arthur, as probably the worst Fed chairman of all time. Even though his ideas were good, he was raising rates for a little while in the late 70s, but he blinked. And so it is shocking to me that Powell is willing to blink, and I'm not attributing this to any shape or form of, President Trump putting any pressure on him. That's just garbage news. Just stay away from even following that kind of crap. But the point is, Powell was on a mission not to go down in history, Federal Reserve as Arthur. He wanted to go down, made sense, as the guy who conquered the inflation, which is Paul Volcker, early 80s, right? 81, the economy is in fucking recession. What does Paul Volcker do? He hikes rates. He don't give a fuck. He hikes rates. Why? Because he knows if you don't get inflation under control, the world is going to fucking crumble. So sure, you have a big market drop in 1981, 1982. And slowly but surely, things are starting to improve. And that's why he went down as the Federal Reserve chairman that people still look up to until this day and time. Now, what I'm saying is, knowing this history, okay, it would be very, very fucking unlikely for Powell to come out today and say, hey, you know what? I'm willing to make the same mistake that Arthur did in the late 70s. I think we should start cutting, even though it's going to really fuck me up in the future. So what I'm saying, Federal Reserve is seeing, even though they're not probably voicing it to as great of an extent as they should, they're witnessing major deterioration in the economy, and they're cutting the rates for that reason. Well, guess what? The last time that situation played out was October 8th, 2008, when Federal Reserve cut rates. Why? Because the economy was going to shit. Just like what Fed Chairman Powell admitted to today. Economy is going to shit, and we'd better hurry and do something, otherwise it's going to get really ugly. So when somebody looks you in the eye and tells you, man, things are going to hell, do you just say, oh yeah, buddy, I love it, I am buying stocks today? Well, apparently that's what some people are doing today. And I believe once they get sobered up a little bit by Monday, we're going to see the real move in the market, because what was said today and the willingness of Powell to actually go down in history as author, okay, that is bad, fucking really bad for the markets. So, guys, today is a gift to anyone that wanted to short the market. And you may still get your chance to short the market later in the day. I mean, you may still get the chance to short the market, Sunday night, Monday. But I'm not waiting for it. Guys, we went fucking big on buying these puts with various strikes, various expirations. I'm telling you, I had one new guy. I mean, my God, that guy is going to be fucking great. He's currently down $46,000 in his positions. But guess what? He is staying with the move, with the program. He's staying with it. And that's how I know a guy that's down $46,000 temporarily, guess what he's going to end up with next week? Up $460,000, okay? Because he's not jumping out like a little bitch, because he's not doing things that a lot of other people just get scared shitless. Oh my God, it's going higher. I'm getting out, Leo. I can't take this shit no more. Like, you got to understand that looking at times simply at the current price action, it may allow you to have one lucky day, but it's not going to allow you to beat the market in a profound way. So just because the market is bouncing, I just told you, it's actually exact opposite should be fucking happening today, but yet the market's got this complete fucking, and you know what? It's not even that's crazy, but where the market is bouncing. So if you look at Ethereum's been total shit for last week, and it's bouncing identically back to that resistance level of 4,800. Okay, it's there. You got Bitcoin. Bitcoin can't even revisit the fucking highs. That's how weak that shit is. And you've got stocks like Nvidia, Microsoft, Meta, that are still trading below the point, okay, below the price point from where they announced the recent earnings, which were killer earnings for, Microsoft, for example. Went into earnings at 520, got to 560. Where's it trading today? Barely above 500. Guys, I'm telling you, this is not a bull market. You short the fuck out of this. Okay, this is going to be the grandest fucking collapse unveiling right in front of your eyes that people just can't grasp it. They can't fucking see it. They think interest rate cuts or Federal Reserve opening the door to interest rate cuts is a good thing. Well, I'm telling you, there are certain conditions under which rate cuts are not a good thing for the market. So go and study history. October 8, 2008, Federal Reserve cuts interest rates by 50 basis points. What happens? Market collapses. They cut the rates again in November meeting. 50 basis points. What happens? Market collapses. They cut the rates again, this time because the economy is deteriorating so fast. They're like, oh my God, what the fuck are we going to do to save United States of America? Let's cut all we can. Last 100 fucking basis points out given. Okay? And, you know, that, I mean, can you imagine? They're cutting the fuck out of rates to the point they get where they can no longer cut. Look, it's crazy. It's crazy because if they were to go down that rabbit hole now, I mean, the inflation is going to go absolutely to the fucking moon, which is going to destroy the bond market, which is going to destroy the dollar. And it is the very fact that caused the reversal in Trump's agenda back in April. When he saw the fucking bond market collapse, he had to call an emergency meeting to get everybody in and say, guys, I know, man, I'm all in them fucking tariffs and negotiating tactics and shit, but goddamn, what are we going to do? And they told him, Trump, fucking, you know, you call Federal Reserve, tell them to start buying bonds. And I know it's not publicized anywhere, but that's exactly what happened. That's how they prevented the fucking bond market collapse in April. It was so fucking close. I mean, we're literally hours away from a complete collapse in the bond market, and they fucking saved it. And that was the day when Trump went out and said, hey, you guys should be buying stocks. When did he tell you that? Just after he got the fuck out of that meeting, knowing that the Fed was going to go and buy up the fucking bond market. No, hey, nobody's going to talk about it. That's the shit that really went down. And now here again, you know, I guarantee you Federal Reserve is sitting there and they're thinking, holy shit. I mean, if we cut rates, okay, which is what seems like everybody wants us to do, but we know it's the wrong fucking thing to do. So temporarily, you may get a market reaction that is favorable, but the reality is if Fed cuts rates, inflation gets the fuck out of control, which crashes the bond market, which is the very, very thing that even paused Trump, okay, from proceeding with some of his agenda. Because he can fucking understand, well, holy shit, if bond market collapses, it's the end of the United States. It's the end of the dollar. It's the end of all of that. So, guys, historically, the only thing you should be going bullish on under such market conditions, you should be buying the fuck out of gold calls. Stagflation 101. What do? You buy the fuck out of gold. Okay, so gold's got miles to run, in my view, and everything we study here at 30 Market Moves, and in relation to everything else that could be actually collapsing the fuck out. Now, based off a lot of things, Ethereum should be collapsing back down. But you got companies like BMNR that committed to buying $25 billion of Ethereum. We don't know on which days they're buying, on which days they're selling. On days like today, it may appear like they're buying a lot because they like to buy high and they like to buy even fucking higher. But guess what? You should respect the chart levels no matter fucking what, because Ethereum at 4,800 is Ethereum at 4,800 and it should be fucking respected unless it's broken out severely to the upside above 5,000-6,000 from here. I think the bear case is still very much in, because come Monday there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be rethinking today's market move because it's based on absolute bullshit. So with that said, guys, you want to make a shitload of money in the market, okay? You don't want to be one day lucky. I mean, we're one day unlucky today on today's expiration, and it's not going to stop any one of our traders conquering the market the next week, and certainly not in the next few weeks and not in the next few months. While the whole world is setting up for this bullish rate cut, we're saying this is the most bearish rate cut in the history of the financial markets that could make 2008 fucking pale in comparison. That could make, 70s stagflation pale in comparison to what's about to unravel right in front of your eyes. So you want to be on the right side of history. Consider today as the top of all motherfucking tops in the market, and consider yourself lucky if you were buying fucking puts today. Stay with 13 market moves and set some fucking trading records. Guys, this is a day to be celebrated despite of how your P&L could be looking at this very moment I'm recording this. The sequence of bearish moves is about to take over the fucking market. Do take action today on buying put options on what will be regarded later as the historic top of all motherfucking tops in every textbook on the financial markets in history. We may never reach this highs in the financial markets for another 3 years, 5 years, shit. It could be 7 years before you see the market trade at this level again. So get off your ass. Get in touch with the 13 Market Moves coach today, and let's put on some big fucking positions so you can nail your 50x, 100x trade. Stay strong. Don't let bullshit days like this, okay, impact how you view the markets. Don't, as a matter of fact, embrace the fact that days like this is what gives you an opportunity to put together some colossal fucking trades that the rest of the market is only going to be thinking about next week, while we're doing it today on August 22nd, 2025. We're shorting the fuck out of these bounds in the market. On NASDAQ, on S&P, on RTY, arguably the worst fucking bounce the world has ever seen on record, on stocks that should be collapsing, because a lot of them fuckers could be filing for bankruptcy in the next 12 months. And yet, Wall Street is sitting there fucking blindly clicking the buy button. You cannot stop me from shorting them son of a guns. Guys, let's fucking rock. Big profits next week and next 4 months. Take it to the fucking moon.